Hi everyone, it's me Giovanni, and I don't know where to begin. So I finally watched one of not real name, not at all, FNAF theories, and this was that video was still popping up on my recommendations. So I decided, you know what the hell? I'm finally gonna freaking watch the damn thing. Now, I do not hate anyone who tries to correct theories or just make up any theories at all or try to explain what just about anything FNAF related. When it involves a character, what happens in the story, you get the memo. But William Afton, I mean, it makes sense. Crying child is broken. Michael is sort of sacrificed, a sacrificial lamb. I can barely even say anything. I can barely even say certain words correctly. And sure, maybe Elizabeth was abused, but we have no confirmation in the games. Except for, what. And yes, maybe William is a narcissist. I mean, he's pretty much crazy, like mad shit insane. Even if it was early on. Now, I have made my own theories from other people's theories about certain characters, like the crying child being in Golden Freddy as well as in Cassidy, and possessing both Shadow Freddy and Bonnie. I mean, the crying child is pretty much on a roll. Sure, he's broken, but now that I'm thinking about it, in Freddy Fazbear's Juniors, which is basically a fan-made Freddy Fazbear's game, Super Horror Mike said that the ghost girl is Cassidy, but when I look at her close, and the character who was originally, like, in that description, well, in that appearance, it was Charlotte, also known as Charlie. And Charlie was William's first victim. It wasn't Cassidy or the other missing children, it was Charlotte. So, it kind of confused me, but, I mean, sure, Cassidy was the most one who wanted revenge on William, but it doesn't make sense why she was the first to go. Like, for example, Susie was the first victim of the missing children. Meanwhile, Charlotte, also known as Charlie, was the first ever victim of William Afton. And William lost his child due to the hands of his older child. So the order of the William Afton kids, Chris, the crying child, dies first, Elizabeth second, and Michael third. I can pretty much confirm that. Now, when I think of FNAF theories, I always think back to the FNAF Hidden Lore series, and even though it's not canon, for God's sakes, it's canon in an alternate universe, in an alternate storyline. It can be basically anything. So, William Afton, also known as, in that universe, Peter Woodtaker, didn't have a family. And here's the thing. Even though William was a narcissist, and he probably did kill children due to the loss of his own child, we don't know much about William's childhood or where he came from. All we know is that he he had a family. He started a business with his close friend, and he just went batshit insane when his child died at the hands of his older child and the animatronics that he built with Henry. However, Peter Wotaker's take on the purple guy was basically just like in the original concept of his character, a creepy, gross man who just killed children. Kind of like Freddy Krueger, except less of a monster, like a literal monster. And in Springtrap and Delia, Springtrap says to Harry that he killed those children because he wanted a family. However, I also think that the reason why he killed those children was because he thought they were naughty. It's almost like Billy Chapman from Silent Night, Deadly Night, or Mrs. Trelawney from Alice, Sweet Alice. They're punishing their victims, even if they don't deserve it. But for Purple Guy, it was more of the fact that he saw a child die right in front of his eyes from the kid's brother. And so Peter killed the children, and he murdered other children who he thought were naughty. And this was also in the FNAF VHS tapes, where William was mad at Michael for killing the crying child. In that version, he's named Joseph. William got mad at Michael for killing Joseph, so he took out his anger on other children who thought were the naughtiest children ever, and he would kill them and walk away without the slightest bit of guilt. He just took out his frustration on children. That's it. Who were naughty, even though they wouldn't deserve it. And like I said, we don't know about William's childhood or his parents. So, in my mind, when people started naming Purple Guy whatever they wanted, the first name that came to mind was Vincent. I don't know why, but they decided to do that anyways. And Vincent is the Purple Guy in the FNAF Disney movie series. It's basically a fan-made thing that was originally art created by Crossberry? I don't know. But people thought it was sort of like in a Disney movie, so for some reasons people decided to create it. And Vincent Afton, William's father, is the purple guy, the main purple guy. And since William so in the games William doesn't have an actual backstory about his childhood. We just know that he has a family of his own. So, in my mind, William, or the version that my purple guy is, Peter Wotaker, he was abused by his father, Vincent. And so he wanted to get away from his father as possible. And Peter, the purple guy, wanted to have a family when he gets older. And treat his future children not in the way that his father did to him. However, people thought he was a gross, weird man, and he also tried for adoption, but it didn't work out for him. And he got a job at Freddy Fazbear's and got closer to children. Now, in Springtrap and Delia, there's a difference between what happens in the games and the story and in the comic series. So in Springtrap and Delia, it wasn't a kid who got killed from a bite. It was more of an employee who died in the Springlock suit and possessed it for some reason. And William, or Peter, got an idea, started killing those children, stuffing them into the suits, and they possessed them. Yeah, I seriously do not know why. But you do know what happens in FNAF 4. I don't know why Springtrap and Gila decided to change what happens with Springtrap. Well, when back in 1983, but that's a whole different story. Like I said, we don't know about William's childhood or where he came from. But I'm going to add it to the FNAF timeline. That was a video months ago. But just in case, if you didn't know about it already, don't mind the other videos. I'm just, Okay, FNAF timeline, here we go. I had to update many things. See? There's receipts. There's receipts on this shit. Look at it. Look at it. You can see it right here. Look at it. It's so beautiful. But like we said, we don't know about William's or Peter's childhood, but what I would speculate is that his father, Vincent, abused him when he was a child. I mean, I don't know my character's timeline with Peter as the purple guy takes place on Freddy Fazbear's was a thing in the 1920s to the 1960s, giving it a more classical vibe and vintage. Because I love old time periods. I mean, isn't it beautiful? And there's also dates and days, and you can pretty much read everything from this if you want to pause it. If you want. But all we know is that Fredbear's Family Diner opened on June 15th, 1978, and closed on November 1st, 1983. And in Quinzo's universe, it was opened in 1928 and was closed in 1933. June 15th, 1928 to April 17th, 1933. Like I said, hidden lore. And the original, well, some of the original kids weren't part of it, like Charlotte. Or maybe even Michael or Elizabeth. It was just other characters involved. Like, for example, Jonathan Houston becomes the puppet, and there are characters named Afton. Joey Afton, the bully in the Freddy mask, and there is William Afton. However, we don't know anything about the Aftons in the FNAF Hidden Lore series. And it's just Peter Wotaker, Purple Guy, Springtrap. I mean, you can clearly see it right here in this timeline, my own character's timeline. Oh, and Jack Kennedy is Purple Guy's friend from Day Shift at Freddy's. And he gets arrested in the summer of 1960. Okay, that's all that I have for this crazy video. That's all. See you tomorrow. Bye.